Two Back in Time, a Dragon Ball Z fanfiction. What if future Gohan had survived and gone back in time with future Trunks? Gohan woke up in bed. Is he going to be all right? Asked Trunks. Oh yes, he'll be just fine, said Bulma. He lost one of his arms, but it's a good thing that we found the ruins of Dr. Gero's lab. Using the various parts of some of the prototype androids, I managed to replace Gohan's arm. He'll be just fine. Gohan grunted. Hey, he's awake, said Trunks. Gohan, can you hear me? I think so, said Trunks. What happened? Well, you lost your arm fighting the androids, said Bulma, but I fixed you up. I told you two not to go near those androids, didn't I? Gohan looked down at his new arm. It was a robot's arm with an energy absorption hole in the palm. How do you feel now? Said Bulma. I'm okay, but I could be better, said Gohan. Tell me, how is that time machine of yours coming along? Well, it's almost ready, said Bulma. I'm building it big enough for both of you. Gohan gasped. Bulma, you didn't have to do that. I just thought it'd be a good idea if Trunks went back in time to deliver the medicine. After all, he'd have a chance to meet his father. Well, I want both of you to go back, said Bulma. Trunks hasn't made the Super Saiyan transformation yet, so I thought it'd be a good idea if you went with him. Wait, Trunks, where are you going? Trunks was jogging out of the room. Well, if I'm going to make that transformation, I better find a place where I can do some training. Wait, Trunks, said Gohan as he was sitting up out of his bed. Let me get dressed. I'll come with you. I had to try out this new arm of mine. Later that day, Gohan was trying out his new arm by absorbing energy blasts. Hey, the energy absorption arm works pretty good, said Trunks as he threw another ball of ki at Gohan. You're right, Trunks, said Gohan as he absorbed the ball of energy with his new hand easily. This is incredible. I wonder why Dr. Gero didn't use this on the final versions. Much later in the day, it was time for Trunks to finally attempt his Super Saiyan transformation. Trunks screamed as his hair began to stand up and a golden aura was covering his body. His pupils disappeared from his eyes, so they were just a pale white color, and his hair turned bright red. A crater had began to form all around Trunks' body. He continued to scream as his hair stood up a little more and turned a bright yellow color. But suddenly, Trunks stopped screaming and he fell to the ground exhausted. Gohan, I don't understand, said Trunks. What am I doing wrong? Why can't I change? You need to feel the motivation in order to change, said Gohan. A good way to get motivation is to have an emotional breakdown of anger and sorrow, just like I did when my father passed away. Gohan, you and Mom are the only ones I have left, said Trunks. I can't bear to lose either one of you. There must be another way to get motivation. Trunks stood up and screamed again. The aura of bright yellow energy covered his body once more. His hair began to stand up and turn bright red again, while his pupils again vanished. Trunks began to feel his muscles growing a little bit larger. Inside of his mind, Trunks could see a vision of the androids beating up Gohan very badly and torturing his mother. Trunks screamed once more as his hair began to stand up and turn gold once more. Trunks' hands began to bleed because he was gripping his fists so tightly. And then another vision appeared in Trunks' mind. It was a vision of his mother giving birth to another child before dying. Unfortunately, it was Android 17 who picked the child up, sneered at it, and then blasted it into dust. For a moment, Trunks' hair lost its golden color. But then one final scream, and the golden color was back, and Trunks had finally completed the transformation. His hair stood up gold, and it did not change back this time. He had finally done it. Trunks shook with rage as his veins felt as if they were going to explode. A wave of energy had shook him as his muscles began to flex out. Trunks gave one deep groan, letting his emotions go, thinking about the horrible thoughts he saw in his visions about his loved ones being slaughtered. The visions were still racing his mind, but he began to calm down after a couple of seconds. Gohan shouted with joy. Trunks had finally made the transformation. Now they were ready to go back in time.